Alright, let's go to the suspended ceiling for the first floor. Let's just take a look at it in the CAD file first. So here we have a couple of different heights and they vary from 2.4 to 300. And all of these heights are highlighted by the patterns that you see next to them. So let's go back to the Revit file and let me see if we have 2.7 here. We have a bunch of 2.7 heights in here, and so in order to manage it better, we can just import the ceiling file to the Revit here, all of it, so we can work it better and have a more precise and easier project, because some parts of it are in between the gaps, which make it hard to measure here. So let's go back to the plan in the CAD file. So here I select the plan, then Control C, Control N, open this one, then Control V, and then I click here. Let's just get rid of this. So then we go here, then here, let me right click on this and then select similar, and then save the changes. And then we go over here. All right. Let me just zoom out of this, and then I get a copy of it. Now we just need this one, the spaces that we have here. So after I've done that, I just hit Ctrl Z, then X plus Enter. So we explode the file, and then we go here. And then from this plan that we have, I'm going to select this corner and this other one. So and enter here. Then I pull this here and we don't need the rest of it. So we delete all of it and then we explode this one as well. And then for each of these spaces that you see here, if we select them, we have an option here. Let me just take a look at it. Right, it's right here. It's recreate and then polyline and then yes. So this just creates the outer line, which separates this layer from the other ones. And then this part over here hasn't been drawn out nicely enough. So I go here and then I'll delete this one. Let me just select this. All right. So let me try the recreate option with this one as well. So this is what turns out. And as you can see, we have excess lines like these ones over here, which we can get rid of. So I go here and I'll select this and then I'll delete it. There we go. Okay. After that, let's go here and then I'll use recreate again and then polyline again. After that, we try recreate here as well. Polyline again. And after that, we go and select this one, recreate, and there you go. Then we have another part here. After that, we go up here. We have another space here, and there it is. Then we have this space in the middle of them, and then this part up here. So recreate, there we go. And then I'll select this one too, and then this one. Okay, so after that we get to these ones, and there we go. So let me just speed up the progress here. So as you can see, I finished up this part. So from the drawing units menu, I'll just use meters here, and then I'll select this corner, then shift plus square, and then 0 and 0, then Z plus enter, and then E plus enter. Then we purge all of the items here, and after we've done that, just Ctrl S to save it in the destination that we want. So let me just go over here, open up this file, DWG CAD file in here. Okay, let's see, let's open up this one. So I'll just save it as ceiling. There we go. And then we go to the Revit file here. Then the Insert tab. And then here, from this, let's see, yes, from this menu that we have on the bottom here, I'll put this on DWG files. Then Import CAD. So back here, and then again, and then sample files, and we'll open up the ceiling file. So let's put the unit on meters here, and then black and white coloring, and then I put the position on manual origin. So let's open it up. So let's just take a look at it. So we go to the first floor plan, and then we open up the visibility graphic menu. Let's go here and check this box and then OK. So this is what it looks like. So I'll just type in 2.3 for the base offset here, and there it is. Then I hit VV again. So this looks okay. Then let's go back to the first floor plan. And then here I'll drag the CAD file itself for 2 meters upwards. Let's put it on 2.3. And then I'll isolate these two over here. Then select this one. Select the move tool. And then I'll link up the corner from here to this one. And then I'll put the offset to where it was originally. Let's go back to the first floor. And I'll just uncheck this box here. And then we go to the ceiling. Here, I'll just reset the file, and this is the outcome. So according to the notes that we have up to this point, we start the actual drawing. And the hatching that you see over here that's done with these small pluses, it's talking about the 2.7 height. Let me just open up the CAD file here as well so I don't make any mistakes. So I'll go here and then I'll pull this up. And then from the menu, I'll select the ceiling tool, then sketch ceiling, and then I'll put the offset on 2.7. Then we start the drawing. Here we can select pick line and use it to draw the work. So we draw this one here, like this, and then we'll go here. Let me just pull this a bit here. There it is. So here we need to do some joinery work as well. But for now, let's just finish this up. And there we go. After that, we go here, which we have 2.7 height as well. And these lines that you see here are not really useful to us, so just don't think about them. After this, let me select create similar until cancel that. I'll go here and I'll select this part, and then I'll put the work set on the ceiling, and then put this under ceiling as well, so that everything that we draw from this point will be in these ceilings. Then I open this up, so let's just check this box, and then I'll leave a comment for here. Alright, the drawing of the first floor suspended ceiling. There we go. So from this point on, I'll do the ceilings according to the info that we have here and in the CAD file as well. And I'll continue the explanations after I'm done drawing. And if I see any important notes, I'll write them down and then I'll explain them.